Hello designers, my name is Ravi Saxena. I am a designer by profession. As a designer, I have faced a lot of challenges in my career, and I used to think that I wish I had a good design mentor who would help me to take the right decision path to succeed in my career. Here's the good news. We have launched our new channel Design Pe Charcha with the purpose of helping designers by sharing the knowledge and the guidance of industry design experts. Today, I have invited Mr. Sandeep Parashar, design leader at OYO. Today, he will share his guidance expert opinion on product designing. So, let's begin. Hi, Sandeep. Welcome to the Design Pe Charcha. How are you?
Hi Ravi, I'm doing well. I hope you are doing too in this lockdown period.
Yeah, lots of hassle in the lockdown period. It's a good
We are
learning.
learning with the time.
Yeah,
We are learning with the time.
yes, we have to learn how remotely we can work, right? How we can collaborate with your other team members. So it's a great learning while working with a remote work. So how's your experience with the remote job?
It's very, very tough. I would say, right? So you know, right? I'm working with the product companies for quite a long period,
Mm-hmm.
and we are not used to working from home.
Mm-hmm.
This culture is a part of service industry. I would say primarily, secondary for product.
Mm-hmm.
So we are not used to working from home, and managing time is a big piece. While sitting at home, where the family members are there, right? And it's very difficult to manage your professional assignments as well as the home assignments. So it's quite tough, but yeah, we are learning. You know, by passing every day.
Okay, so that's why we have created this session. We want your expert opinion how this session will help the product designer, even a remote job or a beginning in the career, right? So let's start, Sandeep, our session. So Sandeep,
All right.
would love to know
Yeah.
about your design journey. How did
Uh,
you get into the design and reach this level?
all right. So first of all, Ravi, thank you so much for inviting me for such a session. Right. I remember I've never given an interview which has an internet presence. I mean, which is online, recorded in somewhere, right? So this is primarily my first session. So I'm glad that you have invited me, right? And yeah, so let's start from me. A long, years ago in 2005, I would say, I started my career in uh, in design as a web designer. I'm sure our young designers would not be familiar with this weird title since it does not exist nowadays. So for them, for those people, right? So web designer was a profile in which you play two key roles, one
Mhm.
as a UI designer and the another as a front end developer. So we used to play this charismatic role earlier those days, right? In the initial phase of my career, I started working with few service-based companies between 2005 to 2007, and later in 2008, I cracked an opportunity, with IBO Group as a UI lead. This was my first product company, and I won't mind saying, that one of the best companies I ever worked with, especially those times, right? In IBO Group, I got a chance to work for end consumers instead of clients. We used to work on user problems, the business goals,
Mhm.
and used to play, a lot of around the data to achieve, those goals. And that was a moment when I decided that, that I won't go back to work with the service industry,
Mhm.
and I will keep on, continuing my career further, working with product companies. And with a very simple reason, right? As I said, I started my career, with the service companies, and in service, you would be, agree this statement. In service industry, probably, you get an assignment, you work for your clients, right? You have to, satisfy most of the time your client, not the end consumer, and rarely you get a chance to, work for your end consumer. It's very difficult in service, right? In products, it's completely opposite. You work for your end consumers, right? You understand the business problem and you solve it through your skill set, right? So IBO, also gave me a chance of working with very diversified products, starting from social networking,
Mhm.
social games, e-commerce, digital payments, instant messaging, travel, mobile games. We
Mhm.
worked on mobile platforms early in 2009, right? And you would be very surprised. And in one company, I got a chance to work with very different product domains, right?
Mhm.
Uh, And as I said, right, we in 2009 we started, working on mobile platforms as well. That was my first experience working on the mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Later in 2011, I moved to an instant messaging global brand called Nimbus. Nimbus was based in Netherlands and used to serve, around 250 plus million global users. That was huge at that point of period, right? And I would say one of the, very, very, very popular instant messaging product at all time. I hope you have, heard about the company and you
Yeah.
used it by yourself, right? It was the only messaging that point of period, right? And I've been, hired by the India's country head to build and scale the design team from scratch. I worked with Nimbus for around 5 years, and after that, I moved to a startup called CoinShive. This company was was started by the Puneet Dalmia. Puneet Dalmia is the MD of Dalmia Group. He also, built few internet products. Very popular one, I would say. There is a product called, I forget the name, but probably, this company has been sold to Monster, and that become later on, Monster India. So that initiative or company has been built by Puneet Dalmia. So he wanted to build something into the fintech, and this is how this company started. I've been hired by the company's founding team to help them to transform their business idea into a truly digital lending platform. I worked there almost 3.5 years, and after that I joined Oyo in 2019. That is my current assignment. Here at Oyo, I'm currently leading design for various Indian global charters. Just to give you just right, starting from vacation homes, it's a product built for European market, right? Quite similar to Airbnb. The another one is co-working, specially designed for India. There is a company called Innovate, which has been acquired by Oyo, right? So that is something which I'm taking lead on. Oyo campus that has been designed for student housing in the perspective of keeping students' mind. Oyo Life, a co-living space, especially for India. Weddings.in, there is another company which Oyo acquired in 2000, I would say 18 or 19, right? That is based out of Bombay, which currently I'm taking lead on. Travel agents partner, it's a global product, right? There are a lot of travel agents in India, and they have their own customer base, right? And still, I believe, I guess you would also believe, right? There is still a lot of janta in our country. Those trust on these travel agents. Whenever they have requirement that I have to go to Bombay, so they call the travel agent and says, okay, ek Bombay ki ticket bana, ek Bombay ka hotel karwa and all that. So they have a trust over the period they have generated, right? So we have a lot of huge consumer base, I would say, right, which we are catering through our travel agents. The another charter which I am taking lead on, OyoB, it's a corporate guest management. So there is a big companies like Airtel and other big players, right? Whenever they look for a hotel service, they never go to our consumer product. We have a separate product lines for them. And various B2B internal product charters. So there would be around 7 to 8 different product India and global I'm currently taking lead, and trying my best to simplify the experiences that makes a huge impact to millions of global users. So that's my current assignment, and in a come short, so probably I have around 14 to 15 years of total experience.
Okay. So now Oyo is completely changed the industry in the travel domain, in the hospitality. Now it's a experience, the cost of the living in a hotel, it's reduced. Previously it was taking thousands of money. Now you can get a room in a 1,000, 2,000. So they completely changed the travel and the hospitality industry. So it's a good thing. So Sandeep, let's move to next question. So what are those challenges you have faced in your career and how you tackle those?
That's a tough one. All right. So Ravi, being a designer, I faced a lot of challenges, right? And I would say, after having a certain experience, still facing a lot of challenges. Just to give you, some example of those, probably, within a team, probably, building a design processes, that's a challenge for us, right? When you have a team of, 30 plus designers and your capability is, catering a global products. So that's a big challenge, right? And all the designers sitting in a different geography. So that's a one challenge we are currently facing, right? That's a big one. So we are trying to, make it fix as soon as possible, but still there is some problem which we need to fix. Design system has a problem, right? When you work in a very, very big team, building a design system is a necessary piece, right?
Mhm.
You cannot survive, without building a design system. That's the second thing. Third thing is team collaboration. How do you, engage all the designers, the individual brains, which is more capable than the single one, right? It's a very tough piece. How do you collaborate your design teams and the other stakeholders, right? Hiring is again another pain, right? Hiring a right set of skilled person is again is a challenge, right? And hiring becomes a challenge when you hire, from a different geography while sitting in a different geography, right? That's again a painful piece, but we try to, best to solve it as soon as. Team management is another part. It's again is a hassle, as I said. When you have a team of 30 plus designers, right, it's very difficult to manage. Stakeholder management again in a product company, when you work with a very different stakeholders, product is a primary, technology is a primary, business is a primary, marketing, sales is a primary, brand, we have a separate brand team as well. So managing brand is completely difficult, right? So there are a lot of challenges which we face. So if you have any certain question, out of these areas, so I would love to answer those.
Yeah, so I want to discuss about the design process. People are already familiar with the design process, but the practicality is it is not implement all the things in the design process, right? So what are the key processes you are following at OYO in your design process?
All right. So I think there is only one best and ideal process is, right, which is I think best for all kind of design teams, right? When you say that, how do you approach your problem and how do you reach to a solution, right? This is a very standard process. It's very simple, right? Starting from, where a requirement comes to you in a shape of PRD document or BRD document, right? It could be from business, it could be from product, it could be that you have, identified that problem, right? So probably, when you get the problem, right, it's very important to, validate that problem. It's not necessary that whatever problem has come to you, it's validated. You need to validate the problem. And post that, right, probably, you define the problem, right, by following set of processes. You ideate, you generate some of the ideas, to fulfill those problems, or I would say to generate the solutions against that problem. You test those ideas. And probably, once you test those ideas, you get a lot of feedback from the end consumer, from the business and different stakeholders, right? You implement those ideas and probably you take it live. And post taking live, you keep on measuring, right, the success metrics which you define. So probably there are, a fixed set of, stages, which we call it as design process. It's very mandatory to follow, but in certain cases, right, where you're not building a product from scratch, so some of the pieces you can be, skip it based on the understanding and the requirement of the demand that point of period. But yeah, building a design process is very important. The second thing is, right, you have a plenty of designers working, and every individual has their own understanding or learning based on their experiences, right? They believe so that that we can approach to a problem this way, we can solve it this way, right? But as we need to establish a rule, a practice which every individual follows in the team, right? So from that perspective, building a design process, a very documented process, is very important. But as I said, flexibility is always there. You need to follow a certain processes, but flexibilities are there. Whenever you feel that the step one can be skipped, which is not required, you can do that. But probably you follow the same sequence, which is very important.
Right. I think the design process is not the go live with your design process. I says the track your all the implementation, right? How to track your users and the user behavior. You have to test, you have to check the all the drop-offs, where the drop-offs comes, to analyze all your design implementation. Then it's also the part of the process. I am right?
Absolutely. It's a practice which always remains in the back. Like movie, director always remains, backside of the camera. Yeah. Who takes the control entirely on the movie. Yeah.
So now this session we create for the beginner, right? So I will ask you some question which is related for the beginner designer, right? So according to you, what are the most essential skills required to become a product designer?
So Ravi, that's a very interesting piece, right? All right. So to answering this question, Ravi, it is very important to know what exactly is product designing. What exactly is a product designer role? Because there are a lot of other design roles exist in our industry that creates a big confusion.
Right.
Like UX designer is there, UI designer is there, interaction designer is there, UX researcher is there, usability analyst is there. There are a lot of different profiles which creates a problem, right? So product designer is a role who participates in all phases of a product, starting from discovery to delivery of the product, right? Product designer puts himself into a shoe of a customer, product as well, business as well, and other most essential correlated parts of product development. That's the role of a product designer, right? Now what skills are needed to master product designing. The genius brain? No, you don't need to be a genius, right? It's a skill, can be learned by anyone. You don't need to be born skill kid, but to make it simple, right? You just need to understand how product designer works in a stages, right? As I already explained in my last question, probably, but still I would love to give you more brief on that. So you just need to understand how a product designer works in a stages, right? Which we call it product design process, right? The stage one, where imagine that you got a problem. Now you need to evaluate the problem with the end consumer. It is not necessary that whatever problem you have discovered that is validated. You need to validate with the end consumer, right? And find out what business goals we are planning to achieve. So for example, examples will help to understand more, right? Example, like you're trying to build a similar product to a Paytm, where Paytm in the earliest days, right, used to give you opportunity where as a user you come and recharge your mobile, right? Now recharging a mobile is somewhere solving a problem, right?
Right.
Because it was very pain to go to a the shop wala person and tell that where a recharge karte probably, and you give some money and this is how they used to recharge. But now Paytm is giving you an opportunity that you don't need to go anywhere. You simply access the application and put your number and recharge as per your wish, right? So that's a solution of a problem, right? But what business goal you want to achieve through that, right? You need to understand that there is a problem. I want to solve it. I can solve it, but there should be a business goal.
Right. So
what business goal you can achieve it, right?
Yeah. So you have to consider both user goal plus business goal. Then you can able to understand a proper product designer role, right?
Absolutely. And as I said, right, it's a stages. In a stage 2, probably you define the problem, you define the opportunities which you discovered through the discovery phase, you define the business goal, you define the success metrics, which is very important. And then the stage 3, now you generate ideas. Once you say that, okay, this is the problem, I validated the problem, now I have to solve it, right? For solving it, you need to ideas. You need to generate multiple ideas, as many as you can, right? Not alone, but with a team. It's very important to understand. Problem solving is not a skill set of a single designer, right? You can, solve a problem with a collaboration, with the benefit, with the power of collaboration, right? Because I believe personally, the multiple brains are more valuable than a single one, right? If you have to solve a problem, you need a team. With the multiple brains, you can generate multiple ideas, right? That's the stage 3. In the stage 4, probably you choose 1 or 2, items or the best ideas and build a prototype, right, to test it. Because you cannot, jump into the designing directly, because you are not pretty much sure that whatever ideas has been generated, and if we choose 1 or 2, which we call it best, can work for a consumer as well. So probably to save the time and the cost and the effort by the putting by the design and the technology team, you need to test those ideas, right? So building a prototype is necessary and mandatory step here, right? You build a prototype, quick prototypes, you test with the consumers. That's a stage 4. And stage 5, you get feedback and iterate your solutions. So probably there is a high possibility whenever you approach to a consumer with a prototype, right? You learn a lot of things. You get a lot of feedbacks, right? That gives you visibility that your prototype is working or not. If you get some feedbacks, probably you get a lot of ideas that you can implement it based on the iteration you do further. In the last stage, which is a 6, right? Once you're done with your prototype, you get your learning, you iterate your product, you take it live, right, by the development and all. In the last stage, you measure your success based on the defined metrics which you have defined in the stage 2. It's very important that you took it live, and now how do you measure your success? That your decisions were right. You need to measure your success by defined metrics on the stage 2. So this is a role of, I would say, uh, of a product designer. And what more you require to become a product designer? As simple as that.
Right. So
I hope
Sandeep,
I answered your question.
I got the answer, and pretty much familiar with the actual product designer and how they can learn with the process and make himself as a product designer. So it's a journey. Product design is a journey. Not, you can't learn product design in a single day or a single month. It's a process, and you can learn over the periods. It's not a one-time process.
Any designer can learn. It's not necessary that you need to get a degree, right? Any designer can learn, this process, right? And it's not mandatory that you are genius brain, right? It is not mandatory. There is a process. You just need to understand. You can make it correct.
Yeah. So Sandeep, let's suppose a person who want to become a product designer, but he doesn't have any design education background. So can they start their career product design? And how important is the design degree for institutes like NIT, IIT, or any premier institute?
That's a very interesting question, Ravi. Thanks, you asked me, right. I would love to share my opinion. Yeah. So Ravi, in my personal opinion, right? In my personal opinion, by the way, right? What big design institute give you except from degree, right? The answer is they teach you the very basic skills. I hope you agree with me, right?
Yeah, right.
Whenever a person goes to a college, right, in a certain period, the 2 years and 3 years, right, the teachers helps you to to learn a very basics. When you get very basics, right, are those skills are enough to get success in your design career? The answer is no. No, you cannot survive with it. You cannot grow with it.
Yes.
For growing and surviving, you need more skill, right? The basics is helpful when you need to crack a job, but for getting a success in a career, probably you need to improvising your skill day by day, right? Having said that, the design degree is just a gate pass of such companies. Those are giving a big value to a design degree,
right?
And this mindset is now completely changing. Trust me, because degree does not give you 100% surety of getting a right talent, right? Being a recruiter, right, it never gives you 100% surety that whenever we said that there is a student of NID would be a best choice for us. No, we need to take an interview. The person has to get through all the design processes, the hiring processes, right? It is not mandatory that a person who has an NID degree will be a perfect candidate for us. No, there's no mandate thing there that. Please.
Yeah, even I don't have any design background knowledge, right? I didn't take my education from NID, NIT, or IIT, right? I learned my skill over the period of time I spent in the product design, right? I get more life challenges, I got practical challenges, I interact with one-on-one with the customers, I learn a lot of things. And I personally suggest that you get I agree with your point that a person can learn basics, right? He get a theoretical knowledge of the design, but the practical knowledge you have to jump into the field. Then you can able to learn the product design, how you can think about the problem and how you can give the solution. It's a process, right? And you can learn over the period of time.
Absolutely. And I'm adding a few points into it, right? There are a lot of folks, right, who has an NID degree, but it never gives you a surety that by having an NID degree you don't need to sharpen your skills, right? It never gives you surety to success in any career, right? You need to sharpen your skill day by day. And probably there are some more examples we have, right? And you would agree on that. Google is one of the company, right? Never ever I would say give a call on the degree, right? Probably whenever they shortlist a candidate, they never see on degree side. So probably they only focus on the skill side, right? If person is skilled and can fulfill their the requirement of the, I would say, the job, right? I think they are happy to take a call that we are hiring this skilled person, right? And I've seen and read a lot of articles on internet where many people, right, who are not even graduate, they got the job in Google, right? And I guess Apple is another example, right? They're also never taking care about the degree. They only focus on the skill candidate. So I think it's very important for a person, right? It's not necessary that all designers will be passed from NID and other reputed colleges. If you still have an interest in design, no problem, right? You can learn those skills, right? You can learn those skills. There are a lot of other areas, right, where you can learn those skills, and that is the only answer, right? Don't be get frustrated when you don't get entrance in such reputed college and all, right? That does not matter at all. If you have passionate enough to pursue this career, probably you'll be succeeding later.
It also gives me a boost that I can achieve anything, right? You don't
Absolutely.
need
Even I'm not from design school.
yeah, I can motivate other designers for them. So, dude, you don't need any design degree. Your passion gives you a one step ahead from the others, right? So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So my next confusing question, right? Portfolio,
Right.
right? Even you are a fresher or an experienced person. So, what do you think? What is the value of creating a product design portfolio?
All right. Okay. So the question is, what is the value of creating a design portfolio?
Product design portfolio.
All right, Ravi. So, okay, there are a lot of debates on this topic, right? Across the industry, right? You'll meet, different designers. They have different opinion on this, and probably you can read a lot of articles where you can see that some of the designers says there is no value of creating a prototype. Portfolio, and some says that there is a value of creating a portfolio. So, my simple question to those who say that there is no need of designing a portfolio, then why we need a resume of a candidate, right? Why don't we meet a designer directly? We call it random designers randomly, right? Why don't we meet them randomly? But the question is, how would you filter who's good and who's bad, or who's skilled, who's not, right? So for filtering perspective, resumes makes a very vital role, right? Because once you say that I have a job, there are a lot of resumes comes. You spend some time, you take a call that okay, out of 100, these 10 are best, and I'll only spend my further hiring process with these 10 candidates. And the same goes with the portfolio, right? Imagine that you have selected 10 designers through the resume filtering process, right? And unfortunately, all these 10 designers have no design portfolio. How would you take a call that which would be the right guy or not? Probably you'll spend your time with each and everyone. And what if you spend a time with the first designer, and within a 5 minute you came to know that this designer is not matching our expectation, right? Probably it will waste your time. Because you have scheduled an interview with you, you have rescheduled your own arrangements and all that, right? So in that area, probably portfolio makes a big role, right? And from the designer's perspective, right, portfolio plays a very, very important role, because the way resume works as a representative on the behalf of a candidate, portfolio is also representative of your skill set,
right?
You get shortlisted, you're sitting up front of a hiring manager, right? Hiring manager asks a lot of questions, you give an answer, right? But still, there are a lot of work which you have done before, right? You cannot, express each and everything, during a 30 minutes or 1 hour interview, right? And all the answers, all the direction depends on the question as well. So probably portfolio gives you enough room where whatever you have done previously can combinedly, put into a one portfolio, the best one, right? And that best work helps a manager to take a call that this person at least knows the basic. Your last question, right? If designer especially has no design background, so for them I think it's a big key. If you do not have any design education background, building a design portfolio is mandatory for them, right? Showcase your skill set through design portfolio, right? It's very, very, very important, I would say, right? Don't listen to those, those says that, building a design portfolio waste. It could be waste for hiring manager. I have no idea, right, how they take call without any portfolio. But for a designer, it's mandatory, right? Especially in our company, right? We simply reject the designers. If they have shared a resume but have never shared a portfolio, simply reject the person. It's very, very, very important in my opinion.
Perfect. So Sandeep, my next question is, how can a beginner in product designing gain some experience before taking up a full-time role in a company?
Taking some experience without a full-time role in a company. All right, that's a very interesting one. I just remembered a scene of a movie, right, where a person, right, giving an interview, and the hiring manager says that we cannot hire you because you don't have any experience. The candidate says that I know I don't have any experience, that's why I'm looking for a job. So that's a big problem, right? I would say designer is facing in industry, right? Until unless they have some experience, they won't get a job. And for getting a job, getting experience is mandatory. So my suggestion here is to the fellow designers, don't worry, right, if you don't have any work experience, right, but still you can gain experience. You can build some portfolio, right, which showcase your experience, right, and that will be more than enough to crack a job in any company. So it's very simple, right? Think like that, in our current scenario, probably in the world, there are a lot of big problems, right? You can see there are a lot of different applications exist in your phone. See your phone. There are a lot of applications, right? There would be someone, right? You say that these are the best one, right, in terms of experience. But there would be many applications which you believe so that who's producing the worst experience, right? Take it as a challenge. Make a note of this application, right? There are some consumer-based application, XYZ, right? I'm not naming any of them, but XYZ. Any product you can pick and give the assignment to you.
Right.
The way, whenever you jump into a job interview, the hiring manager gives you an assignment. The same way, pick a product, right? Identify a problem and work on it. It's very easy. So let's start from, it's very contradictory if I give a name of any product. So let's choose Oyo, right? So let's take example that you believe so that in the entire journey of a consumer, there is a hassle in Oyo application, right? Especially on the home screen. If you say that on the home screen, there are a lot of communication which product is showing to a consumer, and that's a problem. And how would you identify that problem? It's very easy, by experience it. If you experience by your own, by giving a task yourself that I have to book an hotel in Delhi, in Gurgaon, Bangalore, Bombay, simply complete a journey. And whenever you complete a journey, whatever problems or hassles you feel, make a note. If you identify that on the home screen, there are a lot of different propositions which brand and product is giving. That is impacting in decision making. Make a note and probably identify that if that is a problem, how do you solve it? As already explained, right, there are some stages, right, which you can solve a problem through using those. Once you say that there is a problem, simply generate enough ideas. Once you generate some ideas, simply share those ideas to some of the stakeholders, probably your friends could be, right. Build some prototype. If you build some prototype, right, simply test with someone. If you're not going out, sitting at home in this lockdown period, probably you can test those prototypes with your family members, with your friends digitally, right. And you can generate a lot of ideas, right. Once you generate a lot of idea, you need to iterate your solution. Once you iterate your solution, your entire your solution is ready. And the same practice you can follow in the different product as well, right. So it will give you enough room where you basically using your skill set, right. And once you're ready, once your solution is ready, probably you can put into your portfolio. Once your portfolio is ready, I mean your experience. And once your portfolio is ready, that is more than enough for any hiring manager, any company to make a decision that this person is skill set or not. So if you're a fresher, don't worry. Follow these practices, right? Follow this skill, and probably you can fulfill your design portfolio that would give you enough answers that probably you can get a job in a company.
Yeah. So I have a message for the designers who are beginning their career in the design field. Don't look at the opportunities or don't wait for the opportunities. Just go one step ahead and find some real problems and make a case study on that and try to solve that. This will become a boost in your career, right, Sandeep?
Absolutely. Don't sit and cry, right?
Hmm.
Don't sit and cry by saying that, nobody's giving a job. That's okay. Create an opportunity, right?
Yes,
Create an opportunity. If you're passionate enough to design, create an opportunity. Identify the problem, solve it, and showcase the companies that this is the skill I have, right? And probably nobody deny to a skilled person. If you are skilled enough, you can get a job easily.
definitely they will get a job. So now, Sandeep, it's the opinion time. So I want to know your opinion for the design beginners. So my next question is, what are the key skills do you see in a candidate when you take an
Uh,
interview?
all right. So you want me to, share the skill set we look for whenever we are in Oyo?
Yes, it's a opinion time, right? It will give a boost of lot of designers. So when they go for an interview, at least they can prepare themselves.
All right. So hiring strategies, is completely different, and it depends on the person to person, right? Whenever I hire, there are some parameters we judge, uh, starting from the problem-solving approach. Whenever we shortlist a designer, does not matter how much experience he has, right? We think that everyone's same in terms of problem-solving, right? And this skill. So whenever we shortlist a designer, we simply judge the problem solving approach, how the person is approaching to a problem, how the person is approaching to a solution as well. I've seen many designers, right? Whenever we say that this is the screen and there is a problem, how do you solve it? The most of the designers jump into the solution, and that's a big problem, right? You cannot jump to a solution directly. You need to understand the problem first. And I remember very 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 important quote said by Einstein, right, and which relates to every designer, right? uh, I don't remember the person who asked to Einstein, right? Let's assume there is some person who asked Einstein that uh, imagine that if you have a 60-minute and there is a big problem in the world and you have to solve it, and the limitation is 60 minutes, how would you approach to this problem? And the answer given by Einstein is completely amazed, right? And every designer should understand this. Einstein said that I will spend 55 minutes just to identify the problem, just to identify and validate the problem, and rest 5 minutes just to solve it. That means your solution lies in your problem. When you spend a lot of time identify the problem, your solution is there. How much time will you solve it? If you already identified, the solution is there. So you don't need to jump into the solution directly. If you jump into the solution directly, probably you're into the wrong direction. So you need to understand what is the problem, what is the demand, what is the hiring manager looking for, and then probably decide that okay, this is the problem. This can be solved in a many way. I personally believe. I hope you work with me, Ravi. There's a thousand of ways, right, to solving a problem. Thousand of ways. It depends on you which approach you take, right? So it's very important that you understand the problem first and then jump into the solution. That's a very important. The second is reception to feedback. That's again is a very very important criteria, right? Whenever I hire, I keep on looking on this criteria, and this is a basic problem with most of the designer, right? When a designer designs something, he always has personal biases on that design, right? When you give a feedback to a designer, he gets angry. I've seen many designers.
Even every designer has a problem. Even you are a fresher or experienced one, they have a problem. So I think as a designer, you have to improve your listening skills.
Absolutely. So I agree with you, right? There is no relation with the experience level, right? Every designer has the personal biases with their solution. They believe whatever they design is a world-class solution. It's a world-class design, and nobody can challenge it, right? So that's a request to a designer, right? Please be open, for the feedback, right? Especially, during the interview. Even it's important after the interview as well. Once you get shortlisted, but it's very important, right? if you don't have a listening capability, you're not a good product designer, right? For being a product designer, you have to be very good into listening skills, right? So reception to feedback is another big area which I generally, keep my eye on it. The another is how does a designer, collaborate with the other and each stakeholders, right? As I said that building a product is not a capability of a single designer. It's a team effort.
Right.
So probably you're playing a role of X. Probably there are some X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3 other team players as well, right? Who's also contributing, right? So it's very important that you never claim all the time that I am problem solver, right? You have to understand that every individual has their own skill and they are contributing in building a product, right? So it's very important that you work in a team manner. That's an important thing. So how do we judge on that? So there are some ways we generally follow in the hiring process, but that's very important, right? If we see that a person is not working in a collaboration manner, probably it's a big red alert for us. And the most important one more is energy and the ability to move fast, right? If you are passionate enough, that passion should be seen in your energy. Because nobody hires people, right, who are not passionate enough, right? Energy should be there. The positive energy should be there, right? And that's the most important common criteria, I would say. Nowadays, every company look into a designer when they hire. So these are the most important. I think every designer should, focus on these key criteria and work accordingly. Apart from your skill set in design, these are very important key skill set. Probably you need to work on it.
I think behavior is a good key skill, right? You can build a culture around yourself, right? If you are positive, your other peers are also be the positive person, right? So you can build a culture.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Sandeep. So I think
I'm sorry, I'm extended. So I agree with your statement, right? You're saying that you have a 10 members of team, and the one person who's completely high skilled person have a bad attitude can ruin the entire team, right? So it's very important that with having a skill, attitude should be right. That is very important.
Yes. So Sandeep, I'm done with all the questions with you now. It's a good learning session with you. So I want to request give a motivational message to design beginners who just enter into a design field. So I have one last message to all the designers who begin their career in the design.
All right, as I already said, right, I've given a lot of insights during the session, right? It's very important that whenever a designer says that I have to get a job, there should be enough purpose, right? Every designer should understand this. Whenever a company is hiring, they're demanding for a skill set. So probably you need to understand what skill set is demanding by the company and how you can fulfill it. I've seen many designers, right, whenever they get into the interview, and unfortunately if they don't get selected, I've seen many designers that they get frustrated, and when such incident happens repeatedly, probably they feel so that I'm not skilled enough to crack a job in the industry, and that is a very very wrong approach, I would say, right? Never feel so. Being a designer, it's not you. There are a lot of other designers who got rejected, right? Even I rejected in many interviews. How does it matter? Even Ravi rejected, I would say, right? So you rejected in a lot of interviews. How does it matter, right? But still we are working, right? And you're working in a very reputed company. I'm working in a very reputed company, right? So whenever you failed in any interview, take it as an opportunity. And probably, in certain areas, in that case, probably there could be higher chances that in that moment, in that 30 minutes or 1 hour, probably you have failed to make a recruiter understand that my skill set is more than enough what you're demanding for, right? There could be higher chances the company is demanding for X and you are skilled of Y, and that is not matching with company's requirement, right? So understand this, that you cannot be all the time be succeed in all the interviews, right? Take it as an opportunity. Understand why did you fail in the interview. Make a note that there are some other skill set which was required by the company and I could not fulfill it. That's okay. You can fulfill later. Make a note. Probably work on those skill set, and again try for a different company or the same company, and probably later or sooner you will get a job, right?
Yeah.
And it's not important to get a job. Once you get selected, probably for a survival, for us getting success in your role, right? You need to keep on improvising your skill set, right? That is a very, very, very important message I have. Keep on improving your skill set day by day, right? Industry is getting changing very, very, very fast, right? And there are a lot of competition. When I started in 2005, there were very few designers in the industry, but nowadays every second person is designer, right? So understand, when you have a lot of competition, you should be very sharp in your skill set, right? So that's very, very important. And there are a lot of other areas as well, which we can talk later. But I think most essential skill set which is required for a product designer role, that you need to sharpen very.
So design beginners, just make yourself ready for the new challenges. Don't wait for the opportunities. Lot of competition in the industry. Stay positive, stay motivate yourself, then definitely you will crack a better job which suits your profile. So don't do motivate if you reject in the interview. Just make the notes and just go with your next challenge. You definitely will success in your next challenge, right, Sandeep?
Absolutely, Ravi. Yeah, absolutely. And one more thing, one last question, probably, so we have an internet presence, right? You can simply find me by typing Sandeep Parashar on Google, and the first link probably you will have, that is my profile. You can find me there. And if you have any certain questions, right, which you think that I can have the right answer, approach me. I'm always welcoming of, such questions, right? Simply, approach me. If I have the right answer, probably I'll give you, right? Don't get hesitated, don't get frustrated, right? Keep on working on your profile, keep on enhancing your skills, and probably do well in your career. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, so designers, if you have any questions, any queries, just ping in our YouTube comments. We will definitely reply. We will make a separate sessions for your question. We will definitely come with the answers. Sandeep will reply all the answers when we got some questions. So just posted your question on our YouTube channel. Right? Thanks, Sandeep. Thanks for your time. It's a nice
Thank you
talking
so much, Ravi.
to
Yeah.
you. Right. So okay.
Thanks for having me. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
All right. See you.
Okay. Bye.